Hi, these comments are for RS, and you're using my free TOEFL writing evaluation service, so you can complete one writing practice test and then get feedback on that. And I am Michael Buckoff. I'm the founder, owner, and the materials writer for OTC. And in this video, I'm going to look at your essay. My estimated score right now is 3.25 out of 5, 21 points out of 30 based on what you sent me and what I'm looking at right here, right? So if I gave you some suggestions, I think the first thing is you say more attention to the education of children has a more positive and long-term effect on the country's development. I'll explain my reason in detail hereunder. I would take the key points of your two body paragraphs and incorporate them into the thesis. So you have a little bit more sharply focused thesis there, and that can tighten the organization of your ideas. But that's not, that's one of the reasons I didn't give you a higher score, but there is. And here's mainly why I gave you the score that I did. So here are some adapted rubrics I use. I've adapted them from ETS so my online TOEFL course students can understand a little bit more why they get the scores they do when they complete practice tests. I'm putting you at 21 here, right? So I think the thesis is part of it. But here, has problems with sentence formation and word choice, has accurate but limited range of sentence structures and vocabulary, but I don't think it's entirely accurate, so it's a question of whether to score you into the 2 or the 3 range here. So what types of language use problems are you actually having, right? So let's take a look at that. So if I went to one of your paragraphs, let's just look at a sentence here. So I would put S, some portions of persons' characters, I would put here are shaped, then put during. So I would put something like that in that particular sentence, right? So some portions of persons' characters are shaped during this age. So you have a lot of trouble with passive voice, believe it or not, in many areas of it. Okay, let's look at one more. I'll give you one more example here. You have, I'm the opinion that, and you want to make this a subject here, so change it to a gerund. I'm of the opinion that spending money on the occasion of young children is more important. I would put maybe for a government that cares about the development of a country. So in that case, I would change this to the ing, so you have what's called a gerund phrase as a subject there. These are called verbals. So if I went through and error corrected the entire essay, and I do have this service, I would be making a correction in almost every line of your essay. So it's hard to give you a higher score when you have all these problems with your sentence structure and your word choice. So that's the main thing that you want to get from this free TOEFL writing evaluation is you need to improve your grammar skills. That is very, very important for you right now. And guess what? My online TOEFL course has a grammar section. I have a pre-test and a post-test. If you enroll in any of my online courses, you'll have access to the grammar section. If you choose to use what's called a TOEFL private lesson, as I correct the essay, I'll make a list of different grammatical problems you're having, and that I can tell you what parts of my grammar course you need to study more in order to improve in those areas. And the other thing you got to remember, though, is writing is recursive, which means that you will come back to these same errors over and over and over. But the more you do writing practice, eventually you'll make fewer and fewer errors. So to help you, for example, improve from 21 or 22 points on the writing section to, say, 28 or 29 points, I can do it. But it'll probably take you anywhere from 2 to 4 months for you to make those kinds of improvements. All right? Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for sending me the writing practice test.